How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, we got some awesome news. The upcoming Mortal Kombat game has finally been revealed. Of course, we knew it was coming, but yeah, we finally got the trailer for what is called Mortal Kombat 1, which is the 12th mainline game. And yeah, I mean, the trailer came out, but it's really awesome. So if you haven't seen it, here you go.
It is time. Time to wake up to a new reality. To a blank canvas that I have painted in with warmth and peace. In my new era, the choice is yours. Whether to live in quiet serenity or bloody strife. To dwell in joyous prosperity or bitter rivalry. You can face each other as sworn enemies, or united as brothers. But a storm is brewing, and soon you will discover that even in this new era, one constant remains. There is always something worth fighting for. You have chosen to defy peace. Then you have chosen war with a god.
But yeah, guys, it's really cool. What can I say? I mean, I like, because, so we know that this whole rebooted timeline thing started in MK9, and essentially they were doing it all over again. So it's nice to see that they didn't just go all the way back to Armageddon, right? Because after 11, which was essentially 2 and 3, kind of, right? Like MK, yeah, like 2, 3, it was like, okay, we're gonna go more into like the PS2 era, like Deadly Alliance, Deception, right? Like with Onaga and all that. It's like we were gonna repeat that, but thankfully they decided to go with, of course, Liu Kang is now the fire god, essentially switched places with Raiden, and we're seeing this new timeline, and essentially we're getting a look at like potentially the great Kung Lao, because you always hear about that, right? About, I remember in like, I think it was Mortal Kombat 2, where it talked about, no, the first game, sorry, where it talked about the great Kung Lao defeated Goro like 500 years ago, and it's like, we're finally getting to see a version of that. I don't know if it's the exact same one, but, you know, we're getting a version. So the important information, we don't have to wait long. The game will be out this year, September 19th, for current gen only. Well, okay, so PC, PS5, and Xbox Series, which I'm like, okay, it's to be expected. Mortal Kombat's always been a series that was like, graphics are always like important. It's arguably always like the best looking fighting game out there, now at least. And like, I don't know, it's like the thing that's concerning though is that it's also gonna advertise for Switch, which is like so they're skipping like PS4, Xbox One, which are more powerful than the Switch. And it's like, how is that gonna work? Like, that's gonna be interesting to see. But besides that, we know it's coming in September. You know, I mean, hey, I'm excited. It's good to see that they're continuing the series. Surprised we didn't get an Injustice, right? Like 3, because normally they were doing like a every 2-year release ever since 9 and or I think Injustice. I forget which one was first, MK9 or Injustice, but it was like they were always bouncing off each other. I think the Warner Discovery merger had to do with it. And yeah, so hey, I'm not complaining. I prefer MK. But there have been some leaks, funny enough, more so with like side characters. So a new mechanic that we've heard about is that there will be Kameo with the K, of course, fighters, which are essentially just like assists, right? That we can call in, think of like Marvel versus Capcom. But unlike in that game where all characters are playable and you have an assist, the characters can be an assist. And it seems like in MK1, that's not the case. Cameo characters are only assists and they are not fully playable, which is a bummer, especially with some of the choices. So one of them is Tremor, who I absolutely loved in MKX. He existed before. If any of you played the PS1 game that was like Mortal Kombat, I think Special Forces, the one that was like Jax was like the main character. It was like a different. It wasn't a fighting game. It was like different. Tremor was in that. I believe he was also in the MK9 version of the PS Vita as like a secret fight. But MKX was the first time they finally made him like official, right? And he was awesome. Of course, he's a ninja now, so now we have a brown ninja. We were missing that color. But I absolutely loved him, so it's honestly a damn shame that he's relegated to this. I'm like, look, like, bruh, like, Gearus essentially took that place because he had the same, like, big hand moves, right? And I'm like, no, like, give me Tremor. So, Ed Boon, like, you guys are dropping the ball. Like, we need him back fully playable. He's an OC. Like, you guys own him. Like, use him. He was, like, so much fun. But yeah, Tremor, sadly. Another MKX alumni, Farah, who, if you remember in MKX, was Farah Tor, which was the little girl on the big brute. I loved them. That was such a unique design. I mained them with Tremor. Like, they were so much fun. So Farah will also be an assist. No mention of Tor, although I think in their lore, it's like that species, like Tor, will eventually die off, and then Farah will be a big brute. So I assuming they'll keep her in her girl form. We'll see. But again, another one, such a unique character. Maybe they weren't the most top tier, but they were so much fun. Like, they were interesting. And yeah, again, another shame. And then a very unique case, because this character is the second only console exclusive ever, which now she is breaking. That being Chameleon, the female version. So Chameleon, like the male, either one, is essentially, they have the abilities of all the ninjas. So the male version is like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, etc., Ermac. You get it. He has the ability of all of them. Like, he switches colors, and he can use whatever color he is, he can use that ability. So the female version, she was console exclusive only to Nintendo platforms. She only has 2 appearances in the N64 version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which I owned, and a Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but only the Nintendo Wii version. And Chameleon is the exact same thing, just the female ninja. So Kitana, Jade, Melina, you get it. So whenever she would change color, she could use the abilities of whichever female ninja she was the color of. Cool character. She's of the same race as Reptile and the male Chameleon. another one that's like you could do so much with that, and like why are you relegating them to Kameo Fighters like assists? It's like I hope you in the future, maybe not this game, or maybe they are DLC, I don't know. This game or MK13, right? It's like make them fighters. All three of these, like Ferrator, um, Chameleon, the female, and Tremor, like Ed Boon, you let me down. But not only that, we also got news about the DLC, like Combat Pack. Amazon Italy, like, let it out the pack. So apparently we're getting Homelander from the boys, which I'm like, okay, he's pretty awesome. That's cool. Peacemaker. Of course, John Cena plays that character from DC, which I'm like, hey, John Cena, no Mortal Kombat game, that's perfect. Hopefully, he does the voice. I'm all for that, but can't wait for all the memes of like his music and he just goes down. And the one that I was like, okay, they're too similar. Omni-Man from the comic book / TV show Invincible, but I'm like, him and Homelander are too similar. And I don't know, like, so guest characters, that's what they are. They're guests. But they, especially with this one being like a second reboot in this franchise, going back to like the basics, like Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Well, sorry, not Liu Kang. He's like the god. But Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they look like very old school, like very like back in time. So I don't know, they're very out of place, which I get, I guess always are, but I just feel like in other games it made more sense for them to be in it. But hey, cool. I mean, maybe we'll finally get Ash from Evil Dead. He was supposed to be in 11, but I think the rights fell through. Put him in this one. I'd love it. That'd be awesome. Keep with the like. I know in MKX he had like the horror characters. Well, also in 9, Freddy Krueger. So it'll be, yeah, I love to see Ash. But yeah, guys, that's really it. Oh, and Johnny Cage will have a skin played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, which, if you don't know the relevance of, I believe Mortal Kombat started off, it was going to be a Bloodsport, the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, like a Bloodsport video game, or at least they wanted Jean-Claude to play Johnny Cage, like in the movie from the 90s, and like do the motion capture for the game. It never happened, but it's cool to see that full circle, like to what was going to be, but now he finally will be like a skin for Johnny Cage. It's pretty poetic. But yeah, guys, that's all we know. September, pre-order it. You can get, I keep like more stuff. Pre-order it. You get Shang Tsung, which, I mean, this guy just won't die. And you get beta access for PS5 and Xbox Series players in August. So yeah, guys, check it out. I love the series. I grew up with it. I have very fond memories of it. I remember beating Shang Tsung for the first time in the first game, seeing Goro and like all the damage he did. I prefer Kintaro. He just looked cooler, the tiger, Shokutan. And Motaro, hey, bring him back, but the full like centaur 4-legged look, not the 2-legged version in Armageddon. Like, we need, do that again. That would be really cool. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Are you excited for MK1? I'm gonna call it 12 because it's like, bruh, you have the original, which is the first game. You have MK9, which is just called Mortal Kombat, and it is a reboot. And now you have Mortal Kombat 1. Like, stop it with these confusing names. Like, just keep the numbers. Like, it's Mortal Kombat 12. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you like this type of content, I make new videos every Tuesday and Saturday, usually. So please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.